Alright, back for a Pauper daily with Hexproof. And this hand's decent. We can't cast the Armadillo Cloak, but we do have lands. And one of the biggest problems I find with this deck is just getting a 1 or 2 lander and then having all your 3-drops stuck there in your hand. So at least the only 3-drop that's going to be stuck in our hand this game is going to be Armadillo Cloak. Ethereal Armor if we draw it. That's a 1-drop. So no idea what NY8381 is playing here. Never seen this player before. Island. Alright, so oh great. Blossoming Sands is a great draw. It means that we will be able to play the Armadillo Cloak. Now Island can mean Delver, or it can mean blue-red Delver, or it can mean Is It Blitz? It can mean other things as well, but those are the main ones. Alright, the Rainstorm makes me think it would be mono blue Delver. But you could go Mountain, kill him Fiend next turn. Alright, Terramorphic Expanse would not be in mono blue Delver. So I can either... I'm definitely going to play the Forest, I don't really care much about this plant token. So it's either do I want to go Armadillo Cloak or Gnarlid. I want to resolve Armadillo Cloak when I know I can, because it just wins any race. Spell Pierce. Oh dear. I'm not happy. Not used to people running Spell Pierce in the Pauper dailies. Alright, he grabs Mountain, so I think we're up against blue-red Delver. Still could be Is It Blitz. Ooh, Probe really makes me think it's Is It Blitz then. Gonna play Cyclops, yep. They did just get a very nice new card in the new set. Now if I play this on the Gnarlid, he still dies to Flame Slash. But if I play it on the Bogle, it's just going to be a 2-2. So at least this looks like it can block the Cyclops, assuming that there's no unblockability. Alright, let's see what do you have. Hopefully no Flame Slash. Right now he could just cast the unblockable spell followed by the double strike spell and win the game. I would be swinging for 26. Let's see if he plays Blessing here, which it looks like he's doing. Alright, so he's going to get protection from green. And now if he has the double strike spell, that's game. Alright, he's just swinging for 10. No blocks. Alright, Rancor. Let's see what happens if we try and resolve Rancor here. We can... Alright, so... 8, so we can put him at 1. It doesn't do us any good. So we'll just swing. We'll put him at 2, so now we can't play any of the pay life spells unless he plays a come into play, tapped, gain 1 life land. Right, 1 more damage from not first strike, so there's that too. So if he tries to, he can actually pay the life by mistake now and lose. And we have some blockers here. So he's got 5 cards. He can't burn out this Grade Cover Scout unless he's running main deck Electricity. Which, I played this deck yesterday against a blue-red deck that ran at least 2 main deck Electricities and a main deck Hydroblast. So the Electricities obviously had their use against my deck. The Hydroblast did not. Alright, and he probed and lost, so with all those cards in his hand, oh yeah, that must have been a mistake, because he could have just paid 1 blue mana to draw a card, and then if he drew something that would maybe make his guy unblockable, Tango will come in. He wasn't casting the unblockable spells, and some of these decks just run burn. So I'm going to bring in, I just put in this Hunger of the Howl Pact right before this tournament just to help fight against Electricity. So when they Electricity in response, you can cast Hunger and give your guy a +1/+1 counter. Anything else? I want to try and bring in Savage Punch and get one of my creatures really big to kill one of theirs. I don't think that will work out that well. And he does run Blessing. So now we're at 62 cards. What do we not want against Delver Fiend here? Well, let's take out Commune. And anything else? How about we'll take out a Bogle for a Young Wolf. So let's just do that twice. That way if he does use some Electricities, we can still have up a blocker. And I will keep. And so we can get a first turn Blade Cover Scout, followed by a Rancor. Assuming no Spell Pierces. Alright, then he flips, revealing Spell Pierce. We're already taking 3, but we have a lot of options here. So since we drew Forest, I was thinking about playing the Garden to make sure we could play a 3-drop later, but that won't be necessary. So let's just play Abundant Growth first. See if he wants to Spell Pierce this. He does not. Because he doesn't know if we have a bunch of white spells in our hand. Let's see if we can get a Rancor here. He could easily be holding Electricity and be like, I don't even care. Or he decides to Spell Pierce the Rancor. So next turn we can Utopia Sprawl and play the Mask, or we can play the Aura Gnarlid. I feel more like I want to play the Aura Gnarlid because I would rather try and put the Mask on the Gnarlid, just because that will be free from Electricity. And we're taking 3 a turn. I've found that Delver Fiend is one of the tougher matchups for Hexproof because they can be very explosive, and in addition to being explosive, they have Electricity, which plays. It's very difficult to can be very difficult to beat. I'll pick white. Let's see. You could be leaving up Monolith. I definitely don't want to play Ancestral Mask into what could be Electricity as well when I have the Hunger in my hand, and I wouldn't be able to cast it. Alright, we have him down to 18, but we're down to 14, and we're going to be taking another 3 on his turn. So hopefully, alright, that Gnarlid resolves, and it's a 4/4, so it's flame slashable, but not much else that he can do with it. They don't really run bounce. Oh, and there's a Killing Fiend. Alright, so now let's just see if we can resolve Ancestral Mask, or if he has another Spell Pierce for us. He has the Spell Pierce. Unfortunately, this garden was a garden as opposed to a forest. If it was a forest, we could have just played it, and then we would have been able to pay for that. Well, let's see if he wants to block. Alright, so he's down to 2 cards, and he draws a card. Alright, plays another land. He's gonna gush. Hopefully he just doesn't get Blessing. We won't be able to beat a Blessing. Oh, there's Electricity. Let's see if he has another Spell Pierce. Alright, no Spell Pierce, which means this Blade Cover Scout can actually still trade with the Killing Fiend. Oh, looks like he has the Blessing, so we lose this game. Maybe he'll pick a one call. No. Alright, he swings for 16, and we die. I don't think lifelink is very useful here. Standard Bearer could give us another color to block with to get around Blessing, but it will just die to Electricity. So I think we will just run this out and hope that being on the play will give us an advantage and getting a good 7. So let's hope we see a good 7 cards here. Alright, I like this. It's not as explosive as ideally it would be, but it can get things going. The abundant growth will be able to give us white mana, assuming it doesn't get spell pierced. And if we draw another land, we can start gaining some life with Armadillo Cloak. We still have yet to see Lightning Bolt out of our opponent. Alright, do I want to Abundant Growth or play another Bogle here? I actually feel like I would rather play the Bogle just to try and get some more guaranteed pressure, and if he is holding Spell Pierce up, I don't want to let him cast it, and if he has Electrickery, we'll still get the Young Wolf back. Ledgewalker is interesting. Could be another card that we can play, but we'll just get slaughtered by Electrickery. But since we didn't make our land drop, if he has Spell Pierce, which he has been shown to be playing a lot of them, he could still Spell Pierce Abundant Growth. Let's see if he goes Evolving Wild into Mountain into Electrickery. There's the Mountain, and let's see if he untaps and Electrickeries us. Alright, he wouldn't have to Electrickery now. He'd probably try to wait until we cast a Raincore on one of our creatures. I don't want to cast Ethereal Armor right into open Electrickery mana when we know he has it in his deck, and he's had plenty of draws and brainstorms to get it into his hand. He's still keeping up that Electrickery mana. Or you can swing for 1, that's fine. I'm not going to sacrifice the plant token for 1 life. Another Utopia Scroll. And white. We can tap this for 3 mana and cast one of our cards, but if he plays Electrickery, we lose it. I think I want to wait until next turn. We can try and cast an Armadillo Cloak, then if he goes Electrickery, we'll get the Young Wolf back, and then we will cast Ethereal Armor on the Young Wolf, and it will be rather large. You could easily flip the Delvers if he's hitting us for 6, but in case they don't flip, I'll keep a young wolf back. Treasure Cruise. Alright, so the Delver's flipped, but at least he can't cast Treasure Cruise. Now which should I try and play first? The Ethereal Armor into an Electrickery or an Armadillo Cloak? If I play Armadillo Cloak, the Electrickeries, I can then play Ethereal Armor on a Young Wolf, next turn try an Armadillo Cloak that, and then gain a ton of life. Or I can Ethereal Armor, have him Electrickery, then Armadillo Cloak the Young Wolf, and then hopefully next turn Armadillo Cloak the Young Wolf again, and try and gain 10. So he's swinging for 6, so he can have us down to 7 without any bolts or anything. Right now he is at 12. 1, 2, 3. So Ethereal Armor will be getting +4. And Ethereal Armor grants first strike, so it can fight through any of his creatures as long as he doesn't blessing them. So I think I want to try the Cloak first off. It resolves. A little surprised. Let's see if he has the Spell Pierce for the Ethereal Armor. Oh, he does. Probably shouldn't. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't even have cast that. Oh, now with 4 cards in his graveyard, he can Treasure Cruise to tap out. I feel like it was a big mistake now going for that Ethereal Armor. Artful Dodge, so he does run the unblockable spell. Not sure why he's casting it, as we don't have anything to block. So now he has an insect aberration, which he thinks that he can block the ledge walker just fine, but he doesn't know about this armadillo cloak. And he is going to treasure cruise here, tapping himself out. Oh, that was game-ending draw right there. I'll even attack with the plant token. Alright, so we win the match, and it doesn't even say NY8381 wins the game. So we're 1-0, and I'm glad to beat Is It Blitz because it's shown to be a very difficult deck to for Hexproof. So I'll see you for round 2.